If you want to mix your vocals efficiently and like a pro, you need to know all the steps you will go through before you even start to work on your vocals. In this video, I'm going to show you the 8 essential steps of vocal mixing and why each one of them is very important in your mixing process. What's up YouTube, it's IDs, I hope you're doing great. Today in this video I'm gonna tell you about the 8 essential steps of vocal mixing. But before we start, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're the first one to know every time I release content and videos on mixing, mastering, recording, actually everything related to music production. Also, if you want to go further after watching this video, you can find a link in the description that will lead you to a free downloadable ebook that talks about the basics of vocal mixing in the field of pop and hip-hop music. Now, let's get started this video. Okay, the first step I'm gonna talk about now doesn't really have to do with mixing, but I really wanted to put this step in this list because I think many people have technical problems and issues during the mixing process because they're missing this first step, which is editing. Editing is the step that allows you to work on something clean and precise for the rest of the mixing process. During the editing stage, you will need to do several things if you really want to get it right. You will first need to remove background noise, either manually or with intelligent tools such as RX10 or a simple noise gate. Then you will need to clean up breaths. This is also something you can do manually or with a tool like with deep breath, for example. During the editing stage, you will also need to replace the vocals on the grid for more precision and punch, and also to add fades to your clips. But I don't want to dive too much into this topic because I talk about it more deeply in another video where I talk about the missing step in your vocal recording process. It's right here. The second step is pitch correction. If you work in pop or hip-hop music, this step can't be overlooked because in these genres, the voice is at the center of attention, at the forefront of the mix. At this stage, you will have two choices to tune your vocals. You can either use an auto-tune plugin or you can tune your vocals manually. Auto-tune will generally be chosen in hip-hop music, while manual tuning will be used in all the other genres. The difference between the two is very simple. Auto-tune is a tool that allows you to correct the pitch of a voice in real time by choosing a certain key, while manual tuning is a process that allows you to modify the pitch of each note of voice manually. Doing manual pitch correction is way more time consuming than autotune if you want to do it right, as you will need to work on each note of the vocals, but it has the big advantage of being way more natural than autotune. Also, with autotune, the correction can be sometimes very unpredictable, while you will enjoy a total freedom if you use a tool like Melodyne. But you can also use both if needed, because if you tune your vocals manually and then use an autotune plugin, the result will be way more accurate and natural.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right.
If you want to learn how to use autotune correctly on your vocals, you can check out this video where I talk about the basics of autotune. Let's move on to the next step now. And the step number 3 will be dynamic compression. You have to know that when you record vocals, there is always a certain dynamic. The dynamic is the difference between the quietest and loudest signals. And in vocal mixing, when the dynamic is too high, it can be very annoying because certain words and syllables will be masked by the instrumental while others will potentially stand out too much. And these fluctuations are something you really want to avoid in vocal mixing. So the goal at this stage of the process will be to contain the loudest syllables to create something more uniform in terms of volume. So you will need to adjust the threshold level, so the level at which you start compressing, the ratio or how much you will compress the signal above the threshold, the attack time, so do you want the compressor to react quickly or slowly to transients, and finally you will need to adjust the release time, which determines how quickly the compressor will gradually stop compressing once it passed above the threshold. Yes, I know all this is pretty technical if you're still new to mixing, so if you want to know more about how to use compression on vocals, you can watch this video where I talk about how to use compression on vocals.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right.
Okay, step number 4. At this step, we're gonna proceed to what we call subtractive equalization. As you can understand, the goal of this step is to remove all the frequencies or frequency bands that are excessive or not useful for the vocals to blend properly into the mix. For this stage, we often use full parametric EQs, where you have a large number of bands for which you can modify frequency, bandwidth, and gain. I personally use Pro Q3 because it's a super complete and very advanced EQ in terms of features, but honestly, if you're not yet at a very advanced level in music mixing, you can clearly use the stock EQ you have in your DAW. It's totally enough. I think it's always much better to use a free, less advanced plugin that you know well than a fancy advanced plugin like Pro Q, for example, that you potentially don't use properly. That's my advice on full parametric EQs, but you do you. I gotta be honest, this step is not an easy one. There is no magic recipe that works every time because every voice is different and the rendering will also change depending on the microphone, the preamp, the converters, the room you're recording in. In short, there are many variations. So my best advice if you can't figure out which frequencies to reduce on your vocals is to listen to references. If you take the time to listen to the tracks your ears are familiar with, they will automatically recalibrate and you will be able to identify the frequency flows in your vocals when you come back to your mix session. To get good results at this stage, you also need to be able to separate your vocals into several frequency bands and associate them with specific feelings and emotions. I'll talk about this more deeply in this video, which you really have to watch if you're having trouble using an EQ on your vocals.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right.
Okay, the next step is gonna be very simple and short, but you can't neglect it if you want a professional result at the end of the process. And that step is de-essing. The de-esser is a very simplistic tool whose purpose is to contain the level of sibilant sounds such as the S, T, H, or V. If I turn it off right now, you can hear all my sibilant sounds coming out much more than when the de-esser is on. And it's not very pleasant. It's quite aggressive. Keep in mind that it's a tool that will focus on the frequency range located between 6 and 10 kHz and compress these frequency zones as soon as the level exceeds a certain threshold level. It's a bit like a compressor, except that it's only triggered by sibilant sounds. All the AWs have a stock de-essing plugin, and I believe that for this stage of the process, the best results will always be obtained with the most simplistic de-essers.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. You deserve better, you deserve more, you're trying to get it, but nothing works. Time goes by and I still don't even get my own spirit, yeah.
Once you've taken these first 5 steps, you should have clean, robust vocals. But now let's make them more exciting. And let's start with additive equalization. A few steps earlier, we did subtractive equalization, where we reduced and removed unwanted frequencies from the vocals. But now we're gonna boost certain frequencies to make the vocals more exciting and more powerful within the mix. Once again, as every vocal is different, there is no secret tip that will do the trick in all your mixes. But there are certain typical frequency ranges that are usually very interesting to boost. The first is the air zone, meaning the entire frequency range above 11-12 kHz. Boosting this frequency zone will really open up your vocals and make them shine in the mix. The second is the presence range, between 3 and 5 kHz. When you boost this region, you will allow your vocals to sound naturally closer to the listener and cut through the mix to bring them to the forefront of your mix. And the last very interesting zone to boost is the warm range, located between 100 and 150 Hz. You need to be careful with this range because if you boost it too much, you risk creating a muddy, imprecise mix. But if you boost it just right, you will enjoy warmer, deeper, and rounder vocals. But again, use references and trust your ears, and you will get amazing results.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right.
We're coming to the end of this video, but stay tuned for the last two steps because they are super important. And if you enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video because it helps me a lot and you'll be the first one to know when I release new content on music production. Let's go to the next one. The next step will be to proceed to tonal compression. You might ask, why are we still compressing, knowing that we already did so at the start of the process? Well, because the first stage of compression has a purely dynamic purpose. We wanted to even out the dynamic of the vocals, and not more. Now we're going further than just compressing the vocals. We want to make them punchier, more powerful, and bring out more character in them. So the way we compress is going to be very different. At the tonal compression stage, you will attack the whole signal rather than just the loudest levels. And to do this, one type of compressor works very well: FET compressors. Because when you drive this type of compressor, it creates a slight saturation, and that's exactly what we want. I advise you to use the CLA76 from Waves, which is the most suitable emulation of the 1176 for vocal mixing, because of its very aggressive tone. I recommend targeting a gain reduction of around 5 to 7 dB to really bring out something powerful in your mix. For the attack time, don't choose something too short to let the transients of your vocals slap. And for release time, medium values are generally quite suitable for vocals, but don't hesitate to go from one extreme to the other, listen to what it creates and adjust the values according to what you hear. Let's hear what it does on these vocals.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right.
And the very last essential step of vocal mixing will be to add reverb and delay. Whether it's an airy track or an intimate one, you always have to add reverb and often delay to your vocals, because reverb and delay represent that final touch in the vocal mix that blends your vocals with your instrumental. There is one essential thing to remember at this stage: don't add effects as inserts, but as auxiliaries. What many people do when it comes to adding delay or reverb to vocals is to put the plugin in insert and adjust the mix knob to adjust the balance between the direct and wet signal. But if you do that, you'll lose all the control you have over your vocals. What you need to do instead is create an auxiliary, add a 100% wet reverb or delay to this track, give it an input bus, and use the send section of your vocal track to send more or less signal to the reverb or the delay. By proceeding in this way, you can easily manage the level of reverb or delay in your mix without modifying the level of your vocals. You can also modify your effects without touching the direct source, and you can use as many reverbs and delay as you like for a single voice. It takes more time to set up, but it will allow you to be more efficient and productive in your workflow. There is also something else to know at this stage: how to choose the right reverb. And because I want to keep this video clear and concise, I'm not gonna dive too deeply into this topic for this video, but I really recommend you check out this video where I talk about how to choose the right reverb every time on your vocals. Alright, all the stages are complete, so let's hear the final results.
I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. I don't wanna make you mad, I don't wanna make you sad. I know I'm cold, I know it's bad, but I swear, baby, I'ma try to make things right. You deserve better, you deserve more. You're trying to get it, but nothing works. Time goes by and I still don't even get my own spirit, yeah.
That is it for this video on the essential steps of vocal mixing. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you have any questions about this topic or anything else in the field of music production, make sure you post them in the comments and I will be very happy to answer them as soon as I can. Before you leave, if you enjoyed this video and want to watch more content like this one in the future, make sure to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.